All right, Hazel. Looks like. Hold on. There you go. So we better hurry. All right, normally I'd ask you to blow me off, Hazel, but I'm going to do it myself. Go inside. Oh, she's left, has she? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oops, can't show that. All right. Well, looks like she's still here. Okay. Well, I have to hang up as soon as she gets back, and then call her from here. The call is going on the other computer. It's going pretty quiet. Okay. Okay. So Hazel, you get to watch some of this conversation. I'm not sure that she's going to be into that so much, but you know, oops, here she is. So I've hung up on Hazel on this computer and that microphone. Hello. Hello there, Hazel. That's your stage name at the moment. I've got a video going. How are you doing? You okay? Would you like me to read to you? That sounds like a good idea. All right. Are you okay? Were you successful? Very good. Very good. Oof, I'm toasty. It's hot today. Oh, I'm a silly fella though. I forgot to log in and get my spots from the other computer. There's a lot of silliness that goes on, isn't there? Well, you're very patient, you know. Let's see. And Sense and Sensibility. This would be the right one. Copy. Okay. And where is Sense and Sensibility? Oh, wait. Am I inside the matrix there? Emma. Not Emma. I say Sense and Sensibility. I was a little dirty and cold. I had to clean myself off. So we'll go on. All right, move this to my left. All right. Okay. That's neat. All right. The situation of the house was good. High hills rose immediately behind, and at no great distance on each side, some of which were open downs, the others cultivated and woody. The village of Barton was chiefly on one of these hills, and formed a pleasant view from the cottage windows. The prospect in front was more extensive. It commanded the whole of the valley, and reached into the country beyond. The hills which surrounded the cottage terminated the valley in that direction, under another name and in another course. It branched out again between two of the steepest of them. With the size and furniture of the house, Mrs. Dashwood was upon the whole well satisfied, for though her former style of life rendered many additions to the latter indispensable, yet to add and improve was a delight to her, and she had at this time ready money enough to supply all that was wanted of greater elegance to the apartments. As for the house itself, to be sure, said she, it is too small for our family, but we will make ourselves tolerably comfortable for the present, as it is too late in the year for improvements. Perhaps in the spring, if I have plenty of money, as I dare say I shall, we may think about building. These parlors are both too small for such parties of our friends as I hope to see often collected here, and I have some thoughts of throwing the passage into one of them with perhaps a part of the other, and so leave the remainder of that other for an entrance. This, with a new drawing room, which may be easily added, and a bedchamber and a garret above, will make it a very snug little cottage. I could wish the stairs were handsome, but one must not expect everything, though I suppose it would be no difficult matter to widen them. I shall see how much I am beforehand with the world in the spring, and we will plan our improvements accordingly. In the meantime, till all these alterations could be made from the savings of an income of $500 a year, by a woman who never saved in her life, they were wise enough to be contented with the house as it was, and each of them was busy in arranging their particular concerns, and endeavoring, by placing around them books and other possessions, to form themselves a home. Marianne's pianoforte was unpacked and properly disposed of, and Eleanor's drawings were affixed to the walls of their sitting room. In such employments as these, they were interrupted soon after breakfast the next day by the entrance of their landlord, who called to welcome them to Barton, and to offer them every accommodation from his own house and garden, in which theirs might at present be deficient. Sir John Middleton was a good-looking man about 40. He had formerly visited at Stanhill, but it was too long for his young cousins to remember him. His countenance was thoroughly good-humored, and his manners were as friendly as the style of his letter. Their arrival seemed to afford him real satisfaction, and their comfort to be an object of real solicitude to him. He said much of his earnest desire of their living in the most sociable terms with his family, and pressed them so cordially to dine at Barton Park every day till they were better settled at home, that, though his entreaties were carried to a point of perseverance beyond civility, they could not give offence. His kindness was not confined to words, for within an hour after he left them, a large basket full of garden stuff and fruit arrived from the park, which was followed before the end of the day by a present of game. He insisted, moreover, on conveying all their letters to and from the post for them, and would not be denied the satisfaction of sending them his newspaper every day. Lady Middleton had sent a very civil message by him, denoting her intention of waiting on Mrs. Dashwood as soon as she could be assured that her visit would be no inconvenience, and as this message was answered by an invitation equally polite, her ladyship was introduced to them the next day. They were, of course, very anxious to see a person on whom so much of their comfort at Barton must depend, and the elegance of her appearance was favorable to their wishes. Lady Middleton was not more than 6 or 7 and 20. Her face was handsome, her figure tall and striking, and her address graceful. Her manners had all the elegance which her husband's wanted, but they would have been improved by some share of his frankness. Where is that? Frankness. But they would have been improved by some share of his frankness and warmth, and her visit was long enough to detract something from their first admiration, by showing that, though perfectly well bred, she was reserved, cold, and had nothing to say for herself beyond the most commonplace inquiry or remark. Oops, we'll go that there. There we are. Conversation, however, was not wanted, for Sir John was very chatty, and Lady Middleton had taken the wise precaution of bringing with her their eldest child, a fine little boy of 6 years old, by which means there was one subject always to be recurred to by the ladies, in case of extremity, for they had to inquire his name and age, admire his beauty, and ask him questions which his mother answered for him, while he hung about her and held down his head, to the great surprise of her ladyship, who wondered at his being so shy before company, as he could make enough noise at home. On every formal visit a child ought to be of the party, by way of provision for discourse. In the present case, it took up to 10 minutes. What did it take up to 10 minutes for? To determine whether the boy was most like his father or mother, and in what particular he resembled either, for of course everybody differed, and everybody was astonished at the opinion of the others. there, I believe we've done it. I believe we have a lovely, lovely, lovely Hazel to bed. And sleeping soundly. Rather quickly, actually. That was a good go. And I would let you listen in, but I don't imagine Hazel would like that. So, you may not hear. Only I and Mr. G and now we get here. Alright. Well, there you go. That was a little picture of the other side of things. And I hope you liked it. And I do very much enjoy taking care of you, Hazel. And I do enjoy putting you to bed and looking after you. So I'm glad I get to do that for you. And, well, I better quit now or I'll say something saccharine. Maybe I'll do another video. I don't imagine you'll want to see more grinding, but never know. Bye.